All right, everybody, we are live in the building for the monthly Angular Q&A chat and live stream. We got a lot of cool stuff going on. It's been a very busy month. Friends at home watching, thanks for tuning in. Listen, so much has happened. Just a few weeks ago, we did our Angular AI developer event where we showed people all of the latest stuff from Angular and our AI initiatives and all our AI plans. We had people from different teams come hang out with us. We had people from the Gemini team, Gemini CLI, from Gemini Canvas. It was super fantastic. Firebase Studio was in the building. And then we showed off things like our AI tutor that can help you learn about Angular. We showed off our MCP server. There was just a lot going on. And if you notice, I'm in a different place right now because honestly, I'll be honest with you. You all have been asking me to do something. You've been asking me to do something for a long time. And I've been delaying because I've been trying to make it work. Let's see if we get some people in the building. If people are in the building, then I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it if people are not in the building. Let me see. Let's see who we got. We got, let's see. All right. Zafar, hello. What up? How are you? We got Mohit. How are you? Michael Small in the building. Michael Small with the big presence in the building. Gary Anthony Scott in the building. What's going on, George? Hey, let's go. Oh, yeah, let's go. Alex in the building. Natalia, how are you? Let's go. Code and bake. Let's go making cookies. I like that energy. Do we see Evgeny in the building? Yes. Javier, hola de Bolivia. What up? Hello. I am an Angular developer. So am I. So good to see you. So good to meet you. All right, let's see what we got in the building. Got Praveen, Carlos. All right. I think that's an I at the end. I can't tell. Is that an L? Is it Andan? Hello from Berlin. Thanks for tuning in. What's up, Michael in the building? Sajad, hello from Kerala. I don't know where Kerala is. Yeah, tell me. Dr. Manoj in the building. What up, though? Dylan, hello. Good to see you. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling ASK. I'm feeling good. Feeling real good. Oh, from India. Okay, cool. All right, Nitesh, man, thank you for tuning in. Gabriel, what up? How are you? It's so many people. Okay, hello. Okay, let's see. Gopikishan, I think it's how you say. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to butcher your name. Just try my best. John Nicholas, what's going on? Good to see. It's good to be seen. Good to see you. I've been very sick this week, and I've been very ill, and I am unshaven, as you can tell. I'm just definitely recovering today. It's the first day I feel more like myself, so I'm pretty excited about that. Let's see. Hello, Victor. Okay, I'm gonna say hello to a couple more people, and then we're gonna get our esteemed guest in the building. We got a very fantastic guest. Can't wait to bring our guest up. I don't even have my headphones on, so I can hear when our guest comes on. Okay, there we go. Let's see who else we got. Favorite channel, Michael in the building. Look, the Angular community is incredible. Hope you feel better soon. Thank you. I am definitely feeling better. Let me be super clear. This is the best that I've sounded. Code and crochet. Let's go. Good to see you. Met you in person last week. Is good. Looks good. What is the roadmap directly jump to Angular 20? If you go to, I think it's update.angular.dev. Let me see if that's the right URL. Is it update.angular.dev? If you go to update.angular.dev, that takes you to the update guide, and it'll tell you exactly how to get from 12 to 20. Okay. But you got to do one step at a time. So what you'll do is, it's the whole update guide. So you got to do that. Oh, congratulations on the doggo being 5 months old. That's so fun. Maggie in the building. Let's go. Who is the guest? You want to know who the guest is? The guest is somebody who is one of the smartest people I've ever met. I'm not going to lie to you. One of the kindest people I ever met. One of my favorite team members. Actually, I'm just bring him onto the stage. Let's bring him up here. It's Scott in the building.
Hey. It's good to be here. Sorry, my son just walked outside. So
It's all good.
Yeah.
It is all good. Good
hey, Jackson,
to see
you.
Andrew in the building. One of the many Andrews on the team, which is so funny. There are so many Andrews on our team. And you are one of the Andrews, and you are a fantastic team member. So today, here's what we're going to be talking about. Zoneless. A lot of people had questions about Zoneless last time. Jeremy and I were on. And I thought it'd be cool to bring Andrew into the building. And you can ask about other things. We'll talk about things that we can, where we can. Not a problem. Let's see. Has anyone set up? Okay, if you're in the community and you see this and you need to figure out what to do, go ahead. Help out. You know how you people have been asking me to play guitar on stream forever? You know, you've been asking me to do that. I think I'm gonna play some guitar before we start. Should I do that, or am I gonna mess people up? Let me see. How do we change your audio settings? Can I do this? Can I read? All right, Andrew, tell me if you can hear this. Hold on, let me see. Let me just grab this one here. Let me see. It might work, it might not. We'll see. That's why I'm in this space, so I could play, because I could never play in the other studio space. Oh, how about this? Is that coming through to you?
Yeah, it's coming through.
Okay, here, I'm going to play for 10 seconds for the streets, and then we're going to get into some we'll get into some coding and talking, and maybe Andrew could talk to us a lot about some, Zoneless stuff. Let's see. Okay, if I get my, can you hear my drums?
No, I don't hear that.
You don't hear my drums coming through. Ah. All right, that was 10 seconds of guitar playing. I've been promising you all that I would do it. And now you know that I can play guitar. But yeah, I don't want to get any copyright strikes if I play actual songs. So not happening, but let's jump into it. Okay, that was proof that I do play guitar, friends. I know you've been asking for it. Too bad my drum track didn't come through, because it was a metal drum track that was giving me some timing. If you think my guitar playing is bad, that's okay as well, because that's fine. I don't care about that. We keep practicing. We keep playing. If you want to see me actually play guitar, come to my concert. Tickets are free, $99. They're completely free. Come to my next concert, and then you get to see me play. Let's talk specifically, Andrew, about Zoneless. That's what I care about. That's what I think the streets care about right now. Zoneless. What is Zoneless? Why should developers be interested in this work?
Oh boy. Well, Zoneless is, yeah, I guess we should. It's interesting because you really need to start with, like, what is Zone.js? Because yeah, Zoneless is meaningless if you don't have, like, the base knowledge of what Zone.js is and how it helped Angular work in the past. So at the core of it, Zone.js is kind of what allowed Angular to perform template updates with your state being just plain objects. So you can just have really any type of state, and Zone.js understood when things might have changed based on, like, DOM events happening, timeouts happening. And so, like, it patched all these DOM things, and whenever something interesting would happen, it would say, okay, let me just update the Angular app. And check everything, and that's what enabled you to use just any object telling Angular that you changed anything, because Zone.js was on the page and saying, like, oh, okay, something interesting happened, something might have changed, let me go check. Zoneless is sort of a step away from this magical thing and patching the world, and it's integrations with Angular that tell the framework exactly when you have updated state, exactly when a change has happened in a template that needs to be updated and require another template path, and reflect that change in the DOM. So this is powered mostly by signals these days. In the past, what you would have to do is change check to ref, mark for check. Async pipe was doing that too. It does the mark for check under the hood. So those were the two main ways prior to Signals that you would do that. And with Signals and that part being built in, we were able to say like the developer experience is good enough where we could make it the default and really consider Zoneless and like not relying on Zone.js to make those template updates anymore.
Now, for friends at home, let me be super clear as to why Andrew is actually the person I'm asking about Zoneless. Andrew, what was your role in making Zoneless a reality for Angular team?
I suppose the lead on that. I was
It's okay to flex on this one. You led this project. That's why I asked you specifically. You led this project. So, for instance, as you have your questions, Andrew is uniquely qualified to answer them because he led this initiative. So, here's what I think could be interesting as people are starting to like put in their questions and comments. I have an app that I wrote, and I would love for us to talk about, just like, even if we just walk through, okay, Mark, make this change to make the Zoneless or run this schematic, whatever you want to tell me to do. I just want people to kind of see what that workflow looks like as we're getting our people being our community, even more involved with Zoneless as a part of their story. Could I share my screen and we could talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Let's do that. So I'm gonna share my screen. Oh, wait, look, the streets are already excited for you. Look at this. Thank you so much, Andrew. Right. No, seriously, this is I remember the early conversations about this with the team. And this is a pretty big deal as a project. And I remember going through those early conversations and trying to figure out, and we're all trying to figure out, okay, how do we position it? How do we do it? How do we accomplish it? And Andrew took this on. It was pretty interesting. Okay, Julio, I saw your comment. Don't worry, it's not ignored. We can totally talk about this. So you don't have to keep repeating it. It's all good. We got you. I actually started your comment and we're going to bring it up. But I want to show people what's happening. Here's a good question. Zoneless is cool. We can expect VTest 4 integration. They finally added playwright tracing. I don't know. We can expect VTest 4 integration of source of evil. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Something we can take back to the team, though. Maybe what we should do? We should have a road show where we should just have our team leads come from the different areas who are leading different initiatives. Just have them come and answer some of these questions that are like 100% specific to that. Okay, but keep asking questions. There are no bad questions here. So now this is, like I said, this is an app that I made. It is an AI-powered application, but this conversation is not about AI. I'm just saying this is an AI-powered application, which is why I'm using Firebase in my application, because I'm using Firebase AI logic. So I'm actually saying to provide zone detection right here and event coalescing. Now, if we check my project, let's do ng version. Okay, so I'm pretty up to date.
Mm-hmm.
So what should I do next, Andrew?
What should you do next?
if I want to get into Zoneless.
You want to get into Zoneless? Okay, so I mean, I think I would like to understand the application a little bit more.
Oh, sure.
More.
Yeah, sure. Friends at home, I am totally springing this on him. So like,
yeah, I mean, or we could just YOLO, right? You want to do that?
We could do everything. Hold on.
All right, you can demo it, and then we'll do a YOLO, and then wew back off.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. I want to get my web browser working. Is it like web? How do you say? Preview, browser preview, I think is what you type here. Browser preview. How do you get the browser preview and VS Code working? Anybody know? Anybody at home know? Oh, simple browser. There you go. Simple browser, and then we'll do HTTP. Or sure. Is my whole thing showing? Even with the good. Local host, and then we'll do 4,000. Should not show anything. Perfect, because my server should not be running. All right, so let's go back to this area, and then we will clear this out, and then we will do ng-serve, and I'll show you what this does, Andrew. So this application is a e-commerce app, and it's 4,200, not 4,000. It's an e-commerce app that I made that is AI powered. And when I say AI powered, the reason it's AI powered is because you could ask Let's see, can you list the inventory? So we made some updates to this on stream a while ago. And then I can say add only the fruit to the cart. And so it can do agentic style like workflows where it can act on its own. Okay, so then it said it did it, but then we can confirm that it added my stuff to the cart, which is pretty good. And this is all the inventory, but I can also just add eggs to the cart, and then my eggs will be to the cart. So it's like both agentic and like natural workflows. Okay, so right now, like I said, I generate this as an Angular v19 app, and I recently updated to Angular v20 before the stream.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I would like to make this a zoneless app, if that makes sense. But I like that you want to understand it so you can tell the people at home, like, why is that important for you to understand how the app works? Why not just YOLO zoneless no matter what?
I mean, you can probably do that. I don't know how you built this app, but if you did it on stream, I'm guessing you weren't doing like random things.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I mean, you can end up relying on zone-based change detection in Zone.js in a lot of ways that aren't entirely obvious. Just because like Angular or Angular 2, when it started out, was developed on top of Zone.js. It was always there. So it's been years and years and years of development for all of these things that have just assumed that Zone.js was going to be there forever.
Yeah.
And now we are changing that. So yeah, it's kind of hard to know if you rely on it.
Good question. So I think I can tell you a place that I might actually be relying on zone change detection in this application, actually.
Okay.
So the reason I asked you that question is, for friends at home, is I want you all to think about, how this transition updates your application, right? So if you just were to switch to zoneless and then like, oh, my app doesn't work, it's not because something's broken. It's just you may be relying on certain things. So that's why I want to kind of draw that out in our conversation. So let me show you where I think that I'm relying on a zone-based change detection system, and that's in my effect on the scroll. So in the application, let's see, where is my preview window that I got away from? In my application, every time I type, I have it. How do you get this out of here? I don't even want this here. Close that. Get out of the way. Okay, VS Code. I need to talk to y'all about this. Don't love that. Don't love that part. You see how so I can ask what else can you do? And then once you see how you got my chat there, and then eventually you see it scrolls to the bottom. Now on stream, we tried to fix this for like an hour, trying to figure it out. And so I had an effect that does it. But the way that I made my effect work at the end of the day was I added a set timeout. So I don't know if this is actually helping me or hurting me here.
That's gonna be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So the zoneless part is relying on Zone.js to trigger template updates. So because you're not doing anything with a template here, it's not going to change anything.
Okay. I know sometimes developers have put set timeout in places to handle zone interactions. Like, okay, I want to be in the next change detection pass, right? So I'll do a set timeout so I can skip over. So I didn't know if I was inadvertently doing something like that.
Yeah, I mean, so because you're using event coalescing and even we'll ignore that part, but it's gonna the timing is gonna be the same.
Okay.
Of when zoneless runs change detection versus when it runs for the Zone.js event coalescing.
Okay, that sounds good. We got, if Jeannie says an effect plus that timeout, we are asking for trouble. Listen, you were here, Jeannie, when we were trying to make this auto scroll down work, And after so many times, what I finally did was I just asked Gemini to help me in Gemini. I was like, oh, I can do this in one line. And it fixed it. I'm like, seems reasonable. I'm moving on because I don't want to spend more time on this.
So you can change that to after next render.
What? Stop it. Stop it. Somebody just typed that as well. After next render.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, before we refactor my app to do that, let's stay on task with our change for Zoneless first, and then we'll come back to
so can you scroll to the top of your app component?
I sure can.
Entry point.
Yeah.
So one of the core tenets of Zoneless was that if you were on push change detection, then it's pretty much you can just turn it on. Because for larger applications, this was one of the go-to like style guide recommendations, which was like use on push. It looks like you don't have it, but I suspect you could because I see you're using signals all over the place. Don't add it. We'll try not.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, we can just like try putting the zone provider in the app providers there.
Sure.
The Zoneless one.
Oh, let's do it. Oh, that's an app config. I'm gonna go to my app config. All right, and then let's see. So here, definitely, I was gonna do a Command Shift X for like strikeout, like a Word doc, like a Google doc, but that's not what you want to do. Like I don't know what that does. I just shows extensions. Okay. That was my first inclination. Don't ask me what's wrong with the entry. I'm not sure. All right. So provide Zoneless change to sections where I start here. Are there any parameters for this function?
No.
Oh, that's it. Should I restart my app?
So it's just a provider, so I don't think you have to. But you refresh the page. I didn't see it refresh. I don't know.
Yeah, well, here, I can tell you if it refreshed. I look at my chat. If my chat has any content in it, then it did not. Man, this is killing me. Like, I really want this to go away.
You got to hit that arrow again on the right.
Okay. But why can't it just delete?
Because you might need it.
I guess that's it. I just don't even want it. Like, get away from here. Like, this is like cramping my style. I hate it. I hate it being right there. Okay, yeah, so my chat is empty. So, okay. Sounds good. So it did refresh. It's just super fast.
Yeah, do you want to just play with the app and see if things are working?
Let's try it. Let me zoom out a little bit just so we can see more of the app. I think people... It's just hard to like get the app and the code like on a reasonable like size. Okay, so I was trying some different agentic workflows here. Like, can you add only the non-dairy foods to the cart? So, because I think one of the values of like an agentic workflow is that you can, I can ask, okay, you can do more than that, but I don't have any data labeling food as dairy is not or non-dairy, so I have to like kind of massage it a little bit. So let's see, get the inventory. So then it will get the context of the whole cart, because when you first start, it just doesn't have the context of the cart. Okay, so now if I say what are non-dairy, it'll look at the names and then make it intelligent. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it doesn't. I had this working on a stream before where it just did. Okay, fine. Add the cheapest. Okay, add only items that are less than $1 to the cart. Okay, that's what we should do. Okay, great. Yeah, banana, apple, and then an orange. Everything else is more than $1. So that's great. And then my cart's there. Let's see. Yeah, that sounds good. I was going to say, what can I make? Oh, I don't know if it'll do this. Let's see. What dishes can I make from the items in the cart? I don't think I gave it access to the cart data, so I don't think it'll be able to answer. Yeah, I didn't give it any additional context, which is good because I'm trying to like get it to do stuff it's not meant to do, and it's not doing that, which is the right amount of like constraint around my model. So that's pretty good. Okay, so I think I just converted my app to Zoneless. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it would have been more interesting if it was like, I don't know, more difficult. But yeah,
Yeah,
I suspected you were using like all the latest things, like signals for all your state. So
I
it
was.
was gonna work.
Yeah, so I was because I just think that that's like the ergonomics make more sense to me, and then I'm not thinking it's hard about some things.
Yeah.
But, but can I just change detection strategy
Yeah.
to be on push?
Yeah.
That don't seem right.
Change detection strategy dot on push.
Yeah, I don't know why I listened to the autocomplete there because that was totally wrong. Like, when was it a string? I'm like, that didn't look right to me. Awesome. All right, and so
Yeah.
now my app
So
is
so when
ready.
we were first enabling Zoneless and getting internal apps to onboard so we could test, I went and looked for things named app component or app that were using on push change detection strategy. And for
Hmm.
those, I reached out and said, like, hey, do you want to experiment with Zoneless? It's probably just going to work. And I think all but one worked no problem. And there was only one issue in one app because they were using like a Zone.js, like on stable or something like that. So 99% of the work is going to be converting to on push. If you're already there, it's pretty easy. The other small part of the work is checking if you're relying on ngzone on stable, ngzone on microtask empty, because like those don't make sense. They don't do anything if you don't have Zone.js on the page. Nothing can power those things.
Yeah.
So most of the work is converting to on push. And that is kind of the hard part to verify as well. Yeah, it's always been difficult to verify because you can have components underneath that depend on Zone.js change detection, and then your on push higher up is shielding it from being refreshed. So, yeah, I can talk about like other things you can do. There's a change detect or check no changes provider. If you go, can you go to the Angular.dev webpage? We have a lot of this
Yeah, sure
documented.
can. Yeah, let's talk about that. That's excellent. I love that. Let's go to the Angular.dev page. And let me open the window real quick. And we'll hop over there. All right, look at Angular. Have the streets seen our new homepage? I want to know. Have you seen our new homepage? And if so, what are your feelings about the new homepage? Let me know what you think. You cannot hurt our feelings. I want to make sure about that. That people know that you can't hurt our feelings if you don't like it. The thing that's most helpful to us is if you tell us what you prefer or what's more helpful to you. That helps us to provide the right things. But yeah, have a look at our new homepage and be like, yo, I love it. I don't love it. Whatever it is you think. All right, so let's see, new homepage. Okay, so we got a new homepage. We're trying to like experiment with some new designs, new workflows, new messaging. You know, uh, let us know what you think about this. All right, for sure. Okay, so if I were to let me zoom in a little bit so that way people at home can see. Now you said if I go to the docs and then where should I go from here?
Or you can search for Zoneless.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Which one? Just top of
Any
the
of the,
first
I
one.
mean, yeah, it's all one page. So yeah, we're talking. Gives a pretty good outline of all the information you need. So it talks about why going zoneless is important. The performance is like people talk about the performance, but you're not gonna see much of a performance improvement unless your application is like absolutely enormous, where
Absolutely.
like there's so much overhead by the Zone.js patches. So I think that despite performance not being as much of a concern, some of these other things are really important still. And specifically that last point with better ecosystem compatibility. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so Zone.js requires for all eternity that your application is down leveled to promises, and it like you cannot use native async await. And that's true now, and it will be true in the year 2500. So that is like a huge deal. Like forever, you cannot use native async await and other things probably in the future, right? As the platform evolves, there will be more and more things that Zone.js would have to patch to do its work, to know when something interesting might have happened. And that's just like one small thing for ecosystem compatibility, and it's not even small. But there are a lot of things that are just not super compatible with the way Zone.js.
Didn't you work on this though, Andrew? The
Didn't
async await down leveling thing? Like, didn't you work on that feature? Okay,
No.
I must be misremembering that. But so with Zoneless though, it sounds like because right now with zones, we're doing some syntactic sugar, like in the compiler step, to kind of convert your async syntax down leveled into promises. And we're saying if you move to the zoneless version, we don't have to do that additional step during compile time.
Correct.
So that is a big win. And then, like you said, moving forward, when new things come out, we don't have to do that. And so we can take advantage of new APIs much more natively, really.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Love it. Okay. Sorry, I don't mean to keep paraphrasing what you're saying. I just love when I hear good
No,
ideas.
it's good. Yeah, it's good to repeat for clarity and to confirm understanding for sure.
Yeah, exactly. It's more confirming understanding for me, just to make
Yeah.
sure I'm saying the right thing. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so this is what we just did. We enabled Zoneless. We added the provider. And then what we didn't do was the step below in your application. So you enabled Zoneless change detection for your application, but you didn't remove Zone.js. So it was still on the page, contributing to bundle size. And contributing to startup performance because it like has to load and do all the patching of all the APIs. So your next step would be removing Zone.js from the polyfills.
Oh
And
yeah,
your
I'll do
package
that.
on.
Okay, we can do that. Talk more about this. So Angular relies on notifications from core APIs in order to determine when to run change detection.
Yes.
So tell us more about the changes here or how they impact developers now.
Yeah, I mean, these will look familiar if you're using on-push change detection already. So the requirements are kind of the on-push compatible components. And as we saw, like you weren't using on-push. It just like on-push compatible means like you could have been using on-push.
Wait, pause there. That's super clear. I mean, that's a really important point. I was not using on-push, was on-push compatible. So if they're at a large organization and they have lots of components that are on push compatible, but they don't want to do a large scale change to like add that thing. I mean, is there a way for them to tell early on?
So yeah, I mean the thing about like on push compatible versus like actually enabling on push is almost a safety thing. Like if you're doing the migration and you think you are done, right, and you are enabling on push for a component and you were wrong, right, like there was some component below it or that component itself relied on Zone.js, then you just like blocked that whole tree. Like if it wasn't marked for check correctly, then you block that whole tree from updating. And so while you're doing the migration, it's probably a good idea to not flip that on push flag until you're done. Until you're done.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Let's see. I want to stop for a second for a couple of comments. Oh, what's up, Esther in the building? Esther's one of our great community members, hanging out with us. Oh, look at this. This is just regards to our homepage. I like that you don't have to scroll to advance the logo animation. Listen, sometimes you design things for beauty and you're not always thinking about the long-term impact. And I think when we all saw it compared to what we had before on the old Angular website, we're like, oh, this is amazing. It's beautiful. And then we're like, okay, get to the playground. Scroll. And it's like, oh, yeah, we can see the pain there. Okay, let's answer some on push. Okay, so Julio says, my experience with zoneless plus on push plus signals, excuse me, plus ng do check or ng do check runs unnecessarily multiple times, just for example, when focused on the input or by just scrolling without passive. I think they were saying something. Scrolling. Yeah. I mean,
So I'm guessing this is because there's a listener on those things. So yeah, like there's probably a scroll listener or a focus listener somewhere.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead. Sorry. Continue.
this is the so internally whenever like a listener is triggered. And like we would have loved to not take that over.
This is real life, everybody. Just
Yeah.
let you know this is not pre-recorded. That's so
I know
funny.
I should have stayed down in my cave to work, but
No, this is good. It's good.
1 sec.
Yeah, take your time. So, friends at home, one of the things that we got out of the COVID era and working from home is that people no longer freak out when things happen, like dogs or cats come to the screen. I remember before I would panic if like my like wife would like come in the back. I'm like, no, 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 I'm on the meeting. And now it's like people don't even care. It's like, hi, good to see you. So it's all good. See, look, that's just cute. No worries. Everybody loves it. It's yeah, we're all humans with real life. That's exactly right.
Yeah, my choice was like I knew it was going to happen, but my choice was like staying in my quiet hole down there with not a cool background or coming up to the
Yeah, no,
outside.
it's good. Okay, so as you were saying, there's probably a scroll listener or some type of listener
Yeah,
on that
so
element. Yeah.
Angular marks for check when there's a listener, and this happens in Zone.js. And like I said before, one of the really important things was if you were on push, you could switch to Zoneless and it would just work, right? And if we removed that for Zoneless and said like, oh, actually you have to call mark for check explicitly, you have to use signals, you have to do all this, then now there's another barrier to getting to Zoneless. So what's happening here is probably there's a listener, and that listener is calling mark for check. And maybe you didn't update state, but it's still going to go change check the component. The other part of this is like ng-do-check runs. It runs when the parent component is doing its change detection. It doesn't run when. So it's like oh, should I check you? Like when it's traversing, when the change detection traversal is happening, it gets to like the parent component and it looks at the child. It says, runs the ng-do-check. And this is your last opportunity to mark that child as dirty or as needing to be traversed. And so even if it like already is not, then it's like one more opportunity when the parent is being refreshed. So there are two things that could be happening there, which is like the parent needed to be refreshed, or it was just a listener and like it's like the next opportunity to the very last opportunity to mark for check for that component.
All right, now, Antoine, I'm going to tell you something that you will be very surprised to know. You are speaking to a person who is uniquely qualified to answer this question as well, because before he led us in our migration to Zoneless, Andrew Scott was one of our chief engineering leads on our router. And he knows a lot about the router, like more than probably anybody on the team knows about the router. I think Andrew knows about the router. So, off topic, but can anyone tell me? Yes, I think Andrew can. What is the difference between a resolver and a guard? I get the concept, but they seem very similar functionally. So, can you give us, or do you feel like you can answer this question for our friend Antoine? Oh wait, do we lose? Oh wait, do we need to wait a second, Andrew?
Oh, sorry. I thought we were waiting for a community member to answer.
Oh no, I think that I would love for you to answer it since you probably implemented the functionality around some of this stuff.
Well, yeah. So credit where credit is due, which was my predecessors. I took over a router in late 2019, so it was like mostly done. I've been the maintainer since then, which is a long time still, but functionality was pretty much there. Yeah, so the difference between a resolver and a guard is that resolvers return data, and those data get attached to the the route data, and you can read it when the navigation is complete. Guards, on the other hand, are just guards. Resolvers can act as guards as well. Like, oh, I couldn't get the data, reject the route by returning empty or redirect to something. Guards are purely like, can I access this route? Can I go away from this route? If not, maybe redirect or just, reject and show a pop-up or something. I don't know.
Okay. Fantastic. Yeah. Sorry about the miscommunication. I was just so excited that man, we got a person who worked on this feature who can actually answer this because they worked on the so maybe not the router you worked on the router for so long. I mean, 2019.
Yeah. I mean, I know the router.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't build the router.
Right.
But
if anybody knows the router on this call right now, it's like you literally know this stuff. So that's pretty great. Let's see. Oh, this is a question from Jefferson. Is it necessary to use on-push change detection strategy with Zoneless? Is that necessary, or is it just a good idea?
Right. So as we saw with the example app, it's not necessary. What's necessary is that you could be using on-push. So like when you're done, you might as well. So what happens if you're not using on-push change detection is that whenever change detection does run, it will run through your entire application. Bindings won't be updated in most of your applications, so it's kind of like wasted effort. So on push is a good idea to prune, and there's a page on the what is this? Skipping component subtrees. Yeah, 2 levels up on performance here.
Oh, sure. So if you want to learn more, friends, be sure
yeah, so I mean, we don't have to go there right now because there are other interesting things about Zoneless. But yeah, there's the skipping component subtrees 2 above.
Yeah. Friends, head over to Angular.dev /guide/Zoneless if you want to learn more. But definitely use Zoneless because it's pretty amazing. Let's see. Oh, that's a good question. I'm going to put this in the chat here in a second. Oh, see, I shouldn't have opened up that door because now everybody's like, wait, he knows. Let me ask these very specific router questions. Okay, that's all right. As long as you feel comfortable, we can answer only a few more because I know everybody's super busy on the team because we're getting ready for all of our V21 stuff. Oh, quick shout out to V21. Can I just tell everybody?
Yeah.
V21, we're releasing some cool stuff, but also the way that we'll be sharing our information, because you know how we always do our developer events, and then I'm always on camera like, hey, I'm Mark, welcome to the show. Listen, friends, we're going to talk all about blah blah blah. We do this all the time, and I think people are used to it. What we're going to do for the next one, can I tell you, friends, you've never seen anything like it. You've never seen anything like it, and I think you're really going to enjoy this very special experience. So be sure to tune in this November. That's all I can say. Can't say more. Tune in this November for our V21 release, because we're going to release every 6 months, so that's not a secret. But what we're doing, if I say any more, I'm going to give it all away. All right. Let's see. Here's a good question about Zoneless. So what's next after Zoneless regarding synchronization? Are we going to head over to signal-based components?
I don't know.
Yeah, that might be a question that we can ask. I think we all got to talk about this more and share more what get more information from our other leads about what the plans are there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, industry is changing really rapidly right now. So I don't know. we're working on what's next. As in developing a plan for what's next. I think everything got thrown up in the air with all this AI stuff. So we are considering a lot of things right now, and I don't know specifically what's next.
All right, Joe asks, would it ever be possible to have non-blocking resolvers?
Would love to. Yeah, that's something we want to do. We want to relook at the data story as a whole for Angular applications, which involves the router a lot. And when we do that, that'll non-blocking resolvers will be part of the story. So we don't have resource integration in the router right now, and when we do and what I mean by resource is like the reactive resource based on signals. When we do look at the whole data story again, we will be looking at resource integration in the router, and non-blocking will be part of that.
Love that. Okay. Now, you mentioned about you can fetch data from Resolver, or that's the place to do it. You can also do it in the guard technically, or is that a bad practice?
You it depends what I mean, you can kick off data fetching in a service in one of the guards.
Yeah.
You also, I mean, data is mutable, sadly. So you can assign, I have seen that happen, where people are assigning things directly to mutating the data on the snapshot, which is available in the guard. It's unexpected is what I'll say. Unexpected. If you're just kicking things off in a guard, I suppose you could do that too. It's not the intent, but it's, I don't guess, like, not necessarily the worst. I suppose one problem with doing that would be, like, at that point you're not actually sure if all the other guards are going to say, like, yeah, you can go to this route, so you might be unnecessarily fetching at that point. So the steps are, like, match which routes you're going to go to, then run the guards to see if you can actually go to there, and then, like, resolve the data for that route after you know, like, okay, everything said we're good to go, now just get the data for the route. So yeah, if you're fetching the data in a guard, then you don't actually know if you're going to end up going there yet.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay, so I should have had you on to talk about routing and and Zoneless a little bit sooner, but let's do this. Let's ask a couple more questions because we really do want to get Andrew back to his other tasks that are like pressing. Like, the team's super busy right now. We're all doing so much stuff. It's wild. Any last questions, friends, you want to ask? Here's one that was asked in a couple of different ways. What's your favorite feature of Zoneless right now? Like, or your favorite feature, favorite benefit? What could you call out?
So yeah, there are a couple things I want to talk about. So one thing isn't necessarily a Zoneless thing, but it was developed. If you want to pull up the documentation again.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, scroll down. Okay, so yeah, remove those things which aren't compatible. The pending tasks is, yeah, the stability part for SSR. Yes, good. Scroll down, scroll down.
Wow.
Testing and debugging.
Oh, yeah.
Scroll down further.
Oh, even further. Okay.
Well, these are actually both of the things that I want to mention. So you probably a lot of people have mixed feelings about the expression change after checked error. It is useful. I will say that. There is a new config to make the check exhaustive. So the way check no changes works is it like, after we do change detection in the application,
you're talking about this line right here?
Yes, that line right there. We do another pass and say, like, okay, have any of the bindings updated after we did that pass? It doesn't work if you're using on push because it does the same traversal that the original traversal did. And so when it hits a component that's not dirty, it doesn't traverse. So it's not going to be dirty because the original change detection pass hit it. So what this does is it says, I'm just going to check the whole app. So it works with on push. And what this means is it is really good at verifying that you're Zoneless compatible, right? You didn't make a change in your application and forget to mark for check, or you didn't make a change to, like, some plain object that isn't a signal. So using this is a really good way. And actually what we have done when we've enabled Zoneless in applications is I've said exhaustive true, interval, like, every 100 milliseconds, check the whole app, see if any state has changed that wasn't updated in a template, reflected in a template. And that will tell you where you've forgotten to call mark for check. This is really useful. If you're migrating to Zoneless, do this. The other thing that I want to, like, my favorite feature of Zoneless is how it makes testing actually make sense. Boy, I'm starting to feel like the original sin with Angular testing is, like, it just didn't work. it just didn't work very well. It was really difficult. So one of the things that it doesn't do is like attach your fixture to the application and run auto detect, or like Zone.js, the default of testbed and component fixtures was to not do auto detect by default. So Zoneless does attempt to match your test behavior as closely as possible to application behavior. So when you make a change and you mark for check, it's going to refresh the component. That's the auto detect changes part. And even with enabling auto detect in a Zone.js application, it still did not work very well because the test body executes outside the Angular zone, which means it's not going to run change detection still. So Zoneless just works a lot better with tests. You make a change to component state, you wait for that state to be synchronized, and you're done. No more like fixture detect changes every time you make a change to the component. It's right here, the example is fixture when stable. VTest has a really cool expect.poll, which I recommend if you're on VTest. So instead of to expand on this example a little bit more, let's say you like click on an element and then you could like expect.poll for like some loading spinner to be displayed. In the past, you would like have to click it and then call detect changes or like, you know, tick a certain amount and wait for something. But like in Zoneless, you kind of do your actions, you wait for the expected result to appear in the DOM. It's great. It's a very natural way of doing things. So it's, you know, the way that you test a Zoneless application can be thought of differently. And time again, I just like forget how difficult it is and was and is in Zone.js based applications to test. And I am like, why is this not updating? Why is this not updating? I'm like, oh, because like the test body is outside the zone, so it doesn't trigger an update. Or like, oh, because like auto detect isn't true by default in Zone.js testing. It's like very frustrating because I'm like so used to this very natural way now of writing tests with Zoneless. And when I go back to like verify things moving over, I have to like remember that testing was a little bit harder.
Well, was harder. Now with our latest changes, things are better. Better for the Angular community. Okay, so listen, friends, I got a couple of rapid fire comments that I want to like touch on, and then we're gonna call it a day. First and foremost, I want to surface some praise for the stream coming from one of our really well-respected community members. Evgeny is one of the people who a lot of people look up to. Really appreciate their feedback, and we need to invite Andrew more often. That's a pretty high praise, and we're glad to have you, Andrew. Thank you for spending some time with us today. Let's see. This is a good question. When will the Angular mascot be revealed? Sooner than you think. Sooner than you think. That's all I can say. I cannot tell you more. Sooner than you think, though. Oh, dude, this is awesome. Thanks for these features. See, people like all the hard work that we've put in. You've helped to lead us and shepherd us on, Andrew. Great work on that. Let's see. This is a good question. Is there a tool like Bolt V0 lovable, but just for Angular? Does anyone know? We don't have, at Google, we don't have a specific tool that is just for Angular, but we do have support in projects like Gemini Canvas or Google AI Studio. We recently landed support for generating Angular apps in both of those things. So in Gemini Canvas, if you go there and you just say build an app in Angular, that creates an Angular app. If you're in AI Studio and you go to the build mode and then you go and click on the settings, it now lets you choose between React and Angular. So you get to choose Angular there and you can generate your applications. And if you're in something like Firebase Studio, we have templates. So you can create a new Angular application with an Angular template. That Angular template has custom AI rules that yours truly help to author. So that way you can build and generate Angular code. Friend, you are amazing. And I have really enjoyed. I think we have one more thing that we want to talk about before we wrap. Andrew.
Yeah. Do you want to? One of the other like things that is really cool about the Zoneless work was that it also made Zone.js applications better. So I sent you a an issue that was merged a long time ago, and the secret is that all Angular applications are also zoneless. So actually, the way it works is like the zoneless part is the core of Angular now, and Zone.js is a feature on top of it that you can enable. So that's why, like in v21, zoneless will be the default, which is just how we are thinking about things now. So if you scroll down, the reason that's important is because there were a lot of bugs that were just closed in the past. Like, yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, that's just like you have to execute it in the zone for change detection to work. What we can do now is say like all of the rules about zoneless, like I call mark for check, Angular is going to refresh. Those weren't true prior to this change going in. So like what you used to have to do is like be aware of like Zone.js patches. I think Zone.js does not patch mutation observer by default, and so like it runs outside the zone. If you make changes to application state, it doesn't update. And this will be true for more and more APIs as the platform adds more APIs, because we're not going to add more patches to Zone.js. So the fact is, like, things sometimes, like, Zone.js is really cool. I'm not going to lie. It's very cool. And it's very magical, and it makes things, like, work really well a lot of the time. But when you fall off the Zone.js wagon, it's really hard to understand what went wrong and why. So, like, Zoneless is powering all Angular applications and making it better for everyone, even if you're using Zone.js. Now you have to like worry even less. Like, I'm in the zone, I'm outside the zone. Like, you used to have to know what context you were executing in, but now not as much.
And people on the stream know how I've always felt about Zone.js is that like it's just showed its cracks at scale as our developer community started to do things that we hadn't even anticipated that they try to do and after they built. And when we found like the cracks, but I still tell people one of my best developer experiences to this day was with Angular with zones, because I never had to write set state. It just knew that something changed. And that was such a smooth onboarding. And then it was just that at scale, we found out that, I actually have to care when zones ran. That's where things fell apart, when I had to care that zones or that change detection ran. And then things just kind of unraveled after that. But at the core, it's incredible that you can just update your state and your properties and things change. Andrew, you have been fantastic. Thank you for coming onto the stream. It is a pleasure to have you on. The streets want you to come back, so we're going to get you back on here. Any last things people should check out before we say goodbye?
No, I mean, I think I gave a couple of those, the exhaustive change detection, and let us know how your testing experience is improved with Zoneless.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, glad to be here.
100%. Thank you so much, friends. Listen, no matter what you are doing. Oh wait, before I was going to give my little goodbye spiel. State of JS survey is out. Go in there, share your honest opinion about Angular and how you've been using it in the State of JS survey. If you don't have a link to it, go to Angular.dev. There's a big banner there. We'd love for your feedback there. Please represent and show people that Angular developers are out there building great applications. And speaking of that, no matter what you do, no matter what you make, no matter what you choose, be sure to create applications that your users will love. We'll see you, friends, on the next stream. Bye for now.